Be Trump dance.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. This is season number 7, episode 7, Sports Edition. Andy, how are you?
Doing good. Ready to go.
Well, it's December 22nd. Christmas is coming up this week. Lots of things happening in college football. We've got a trivia question coming up. Baseball hot stove is well underway.
NASCAR news,
lots of sports. The FCS title game.
Yep.
We have the final two. The semifinals were this last weekend. The championship will be played early January. Montana State is in it. They're part of our trivia question today, Andy.
All right.
The Montana State football team. Here's the question. Has this football team in Montana State ever won a national title in football? Okay. That's the question. Recently they've gotten to the title game. Montana's been the powerhouse, but Montana State has gotten there twice, not won it recently. But do they have a national title in their hip pocket? We'll get to the answer at the end of the episode.
All right. We'll see. We got some stuff here. Speaking of, we'll start with the bigger schools.
The big schools.
The college football playoffs. Here's the top half of the bracket, how the games went over the weekend. Oregon over James Madison by 17. And then Alabama come from behind victory against Oklahoma. So there's that one. And the bottom half, Ole Miss over Tulane. And the U over Texas A&M. That was a beautiful game to watch. Anytime the U comes back and wins, watching just Michael Irvin going nuts on the sidelines is worth the price of admission. Just saying.
Now, Andy, are we going to get into our picks at the end of the episode?
I did post some picks. I did pick Miami winning. Oklahoma was my only loss on the first round.
I got 3 wrong.
You got 3 wrong. Yeah.
One.
Please tell me you got the Oregon game right.
No.
You went for the upset there?
So I posted it, and I thought we'd get some more commentary, but I did go with James Madison thinking, they've been an FCS powerhouse for so many years. Finally move up to
never played on the West Coast until that day.
And then I just thought they're going to be underestimated. The line was 21, and I'm like,
I would have taken the points. I would have taken the points, and you would have won.
So one
Did you call
win.
Sven and ask her what to do?
Ole Miss was my only one right. So now I think. Now, do we re-pick again this week? We'll get to it on our page. Follow our Facebook page.
You'll see something on Thursday there, yeah. All right, and the Gophers play this Friday, 3:30 our time, 2:30 for you Mountaineers. 3:30 of the Gophers. If you happen to be in the New Germany area, follow the noise, and you'll hear us down at the bar. I'll watch on the game. Come in and say hi.
Yes. Now, we are going to, I didn't bring this up at our production meeting, but we're going to get Craig from Philly on next week and do a Gopher preview, the review, a Gopher football review, game by game, and kind of see what went wrong, what went right. We had all these predictions game by game before the season, and now here we are sitting in a bowl game, which is good.
Yep.
But the season was rough, so look for that on our social media.
All right. The FCS. Here's how they've gone here. 24 teams here in the home team records in the years. First round, the home team has been 69-27, so not always a gimme. The round of 16, 75-21, 80% almost. That's not bad. Quarterfinals, 35-13, 72%. Semis, 19-5, almost 80%. So overall, a 75% winning percentage for the home team. Not bad. Tell that to Illinois State. Walked through, road team all the way through. Like I said a couple weeks ago, when they beat the Bison. When they beat the Bison in the second round, I said, hey, good win. I was not on the Illinois State bandwagon for them to go all the way. I said they'd be fun to watch. And have they ever? They're in the championship. And here's how they ended the season. Ranked 17th overall when they came in, so they're not really a dark horse, but they were 17th ranked. And in the Missouri Valley Conference, there you see They were third. They were 5-3 overall, or 5-3 in conference, 9-4 overall. So that's not bad. And, they were third in Missouri Valley. They beat the Bison in the playoffs, but so they did well there. And here's how the playoffs have gone for them. They beat Southeastern Louisiana, who was 9-1 overall on the year. And they beat the Bison, who at the time were 12-0 on the year. UC Davis was 8-3. And then Villanova in the semis, Villanova was 10-2. Underdogs all the way through. Now they go against Montana State, who's a 2-loss team. We will see. I watched that Montana State-Montana game.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Montana State went up like 14-0. So I flipped channels. I got hooked on another show. I came back. They were down 23-20. I went to go get a beer, came back, and they were up by like 14 all of a sudden. It's like, what? They just, that fourth quarter, just opened a can of whip ass and just all over the place. Interception, touchdown. They stand on their half of the field. It was just like this, like you were playing video games. You said, okay, I'm going to try now. And just poured it on that fourth quarter. It was just unreal.
Yeah, those are fun to watch because FCS is a what I would call a real tournament format.
Yep.
Even all the way through, this College Bowl playoff. It's
75% winning percentage for the home team. So there's no guarantee you're making it if you're the home team.
Yeah,
Illinois State with Rittenhouse as a quarterback, fun kid to watch. Montana State's got a good squad. And this will be the first Monday without Monday Night Football. So what do? You throw in the FCS championship. 6:30 Eastern or 6:30 Central Time here. We will not be doing a live broadcast this year. Not because the Bison aren't in it, but just because of scheduling conflicts with other stuff.
Yeah, we did that last year. Unbelievable game, but this is good football. If you get a chance, watch it. If you're a football game, if you're a football fan, watch this game. If you're just into good quality football. Now, Illinois State, I would not be surprised if they win this game, but you'd have to think that Montana State is the favorite. The game they played against Montana was essentially the national title game,
and they won that by 20. So 20 plus points. What was his final score? Was that score by 25 points? And that was all in the fourth quarter. So who knows? It'll be a fun one to watch, I hope. Like I said, because of scheduling issues we have that night. Neither one of us, no spoiler alert for those of you who watch or listen to the show Monday night, probably recording it Sunday afternoon. Just saying. Things got done with both that cement, so that show might be a little different. But yes, it'll be a fun game to watch. I will be social mediaing the game from where I'm at, but I will not be doing any live stuff on video for it.
Good stuff.
Texas A&M, your volleyball champions. Congrats to the Aggies, the Aggie Gals. Great season, great games. If you're a volleyball fan, go back and watch some of those games on the replays on YouTube and stuff. Fun matches. Penn State crushed the Bison in wrestling the other day. There's the numbers. Just 6-5, 11-3, 4-1, 19-2, and 18-1. Oh, my God. A pin a minute 38 in. Pin 33 seconds in. Oh, my God. Now, Andy, see, I'm a good journalist. My Bison got their lunch handed to them. They sold their girlfriend and took their car and everything right there. The reason I bring it up is Penn State. That was their 77th straight dual win record.
Unbelievable.
Congrats to them.
So, Andy, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in college wrestling, most teams, their dual matches are maybe 15 a year is really all you have. So 77 is huge. That is a huge accomplishment. They have been unbelievable in D1 wrestling.
Yep, because you see a lot of try events or quads or something like that. So a dual, that's incredible. And here is the rankings as of the 14th. New ones came out today. I don't have those, but I'm pretty sure these top ones aren't going to change. Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa. Gophers down there at 11. Bison women basketball. I'm just going to bring this up real quick. Avery Conan, in all of the nation, because Bison basketball the Summit Conference, Summit League is Division I. So they play the Gophers. South Dakota State just played Duke in a tournament for women. They'll be in the big dance. So these are national records with all the big kids. Avery is tied for 3rd in double-doubles, 4th in field goal percentage, 16th in free throws, 19th in rebounds, and 24th in rebounds per game. Now, you could go, yeah, but they just play other Summit League teams, blah, blah, blah. You're right. They haven't had any conference games yet. They're 10-2 overall. No conference games. Maybe they've played littler schools. She's got 12 games, 8 double-doubles already. I don't care who you're playing. That's incredible. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
She has some good numbers. South Dakota State and South Dakota are good teams. South Dakota State went to the big dance last year and won a couple games. So these are good teams. They're just, I get so upset when people go, oh, they're just there. You know what? Just turn off don't bother talking to me anymore. I don't want to hear about that. Oral Roberts holds their own for women's. St. Thomas, who since they went to the big conference this year in all sports, have been very impressive. We've mentioned that before. That whole athletic program has just been incredible. Just today, the Kansas City Chiefs are moving across the border. They will now be officially in Kansas as the Kansas City Chiefs. So that means the state of Missouri has lost 3 football teams, the St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Rams, and now the Kansas City Chiefs. I know from when intern Abby was living in Kansas City for a little bit, or in Kansas for a little bit there, that state always kind of embraced the team anyway. I mean, Kansas City, it's like Fargo-Moorhead, but they will be officially in the state of Kansas now coming up. And I also saw some scuttlebutt about the Bears maybe moving to Indiana.
Yes, Gary, Indiana. I saw the stadium rendition.
Word. Holy cow. And I think it just goes to show that you think a major city like Chicago could hold all the teams and support all the teams. There's only so much room to build so many stadiums, folks. I mean, some of these major cities like that, I mean, you look at here. For a while, the Twins and Vikes played out in Bloomington, a suburb. Detroit Pistons play out in the hills. So that's a suburb, The New York Jets and New York Giants playing New Jersey, for God's sake, So you're going to see all these teams are going to start having to move to the suburbs. They'll still go with the big city name. We don't want to lose that, but I think you're going to see a lot more of this coming up too. So there he is. The big Japanese signee. Everybody's all want the White Sox got. So we shall see how this turns out. Third baseman. 2 year, $34 million. We'll see. Some of these Japanese players, Ichiro, Shone, they've done okay. Hideki Matsui with the Yankees for a while did okay. Hideo Nomo, the pitcher, did good. They all had decent runs for here a little bit. So I think 2 years, $34 million is fair enough. We'll see what happens. Very excited to see they went to the White Sox, though, so we'll see how that turns out. Brad Keselowski, NASCAR driver. We're 2 months away from the Daytona 500, biggest race of the year. He's out skiing and breaks his leg. He says he's training, trying to get back. He wants to get ready to do the race in 2 months. Brad's 41. He's no kid anymore. Now, say what you will. I will fight you to the death on this. When you say a NASCAR driver is not an athlete. Oh, it's just a bunch of left turns. You try it then. You do it. I have never paid the money for it, but I've heard it from other people. You're talking to the shop or the garage, and you're talking all the time to people about the car, how it's handling, this, that, the other thing. You're not just sitting there with Journey playing on the radio and your arm out the window. Okay? You're talking, you're telling them how the car's handling, you're coming in for this and that. You got someone else in your other ear about, because you don't have mirrors. Someone else is telling you, hey, guys, coming up on your left, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot to do, and you're shifting all the time. So a broken leg is going to be a big deal. You ask any of these guys, oh, these guys aren't athletes. These guys aren't athletes. Really? Have you seen the linemen in football? Have you seen some of these basketball players? First baseman in baseball. You're going to tell me a NASCAR guy's not an athlete? If all you say is NASCAR's not the bunch of left turns, you know zero of the sport. Don't even talk to me about it. Man, I'm fired up today. All right.
It's true. It's true.
St. Paul Senators of the Federal League are folding. Like Dan and I talked about beforehand, some of these teams are just kind of running out of guys. Didn't really say anything about them merging, about some guys going to other teams. Some very well might. Nothing official on, unofficial merger with another team. So you may see 5-6 these guys on 5-6 different teams. Who knows? But the team is officially folded. So
and this is the 35 plus team in the Federal League, and most of these guys are all playing very actively and very involved in the 50 plus league. So I think they may have just aged out. They just may have aged out. They couldn't get younger guys to fill, not enough to field a team every single game, and the administration is very stringent on this for the Federal League. If you cannot be having forfeits or playing with 8 guys on a constant basis, you have to be fielding a team with 11, 12 guys and they play 25 games. So that may be it too, but the Senators have been around since, I think, the beginning, since the Federal League was formed. I think this was one of those original teams.
That's what surprised they didn't say they merged with somebody else, kind of keep the heritage alive. But
so they did not. They outright folded. So it's going to be interesting. But they've a lot of good guys, a lot of good teams over the years with that Senators group.
It's 4 guys in 4 weeks. Let's trade Jeff McNeil to the A's today. Like I said before, though, I mean, it's tough to see players you like go. But like I said, 2 playoff trips in the last 7 years. You got to shake things up. They've gotten rid of 4 starters now, or 3 starters and then their closer. It kind of a youth movement in a way. Get some fresh blood in there. They've tried different coaches every few years. That hasn't been helping. So maybe it is the players. Who knows? The best 2, Jeff McNeil, second base, center field. He played for the Mets. And when I say it's tough to see him go, I'm not going to be one of those going, my team, we lost. Sometimes that slips out when I talk, but I know it's not my team. But when you watch, I watch 150 some of these games a year of the Mets games. They got the package, so I see almost all the Mets games. So when you see these guys 150 days a year, you kind of feel like you know them. You kind of feel like part of the family in a way. He's one of the A's. They're up and building. They're doing some stuff there. I don't know if he's going to be one of the veterans they bring in to help the kids fly straight. We'll see. But best of luck to Mr. Jeff McNeil. On to the Athletics, I guess is all they go by now. I don't know if they go by a city name next year or not. I'm not sure. When they're officially the Vegas Athletics. Here's a little political news for you. Michelle Tafoya, those of you who remember her originally on K-Fan when they called her Limo, local girl. She's been doing political radio for a while after she left NBC, Sunday Night Football. She does some political radio. And now she's running for U.S. Senate in Minnesota in 2026. She's exploring that opportunity. I think she's married to a former athlete, I believe, around the area. I want to say a hockey player. I could be wrong. I don't want to be misquoted there. But so if you do see the name Michelle Tafoya here in Minnesota locally, politically, yes, it's the same Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, very good follow on X.
Watched our girl grow up. I remember when K-Fan first started as a radio station. It was her and Randy Shaver.
Yes.
And then she went on to the national stuff, and it's like, local girl goes big, and now she's got a even bigger podcast she does, and now she's going to go political.
She's a big name. Big name.
very well spoken all the time too. I think that's what I've always liked about her. She's always sounds confident what she says.
Yeah.
Very well spoken. Very, very groundbreaking in her profession for women in sports, for broadcasting. But she didn't go that I'm a woman broadcaster. She always went to I'm a broadcaster. So I think that's why I always respected about her.
Yeah, she's good.
So good luck to her. And then Greg Biffle, more NASCAR news. I don't know if you've seen the news from the plane crash, him and his family. Very sad news. Won about a race a year. Very competitive all the time. Decent guy. Cliche thing. Everybody loved him. Just a regular guy. This is where in sports, where I really think NASCAR make an exception. He'll go in the Hall of Fame next year. I agree with this post.
Okay.
Some things like this, you always hear that, his career, if his career was cut short of an injury, that's, hey, now if it was like Flazowski skiing, definitely no. We're not making an exception for you. You hurt yourself in your own time, you wait so many years. If he was hurt in a race, maybe, but something like this, yeah. Kind of with basketball. If they would have made an exception for Kobe Bryant to go in the Hall of Fame, I would have understood it. I wouldn't have agreed with it, but I would have understood it.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Biffle, if they make an exception to put him in the Hall of Fame right away, I totally get it. I have no problems going, as much as old school as I am, oh, no, you got to be out for so long, blah, blah. No, this is different, This is different. Kind of like with, speaking of Hall of Fames and stuff, Phillip Rivers with the Colts, he was eligible next year for Hall of Fame. The clock starts over. You got to be out 5 years. So his time starts all over again now. So that'd be interesting there.
So yeah, Phillip, that'll be 5 more years. But This is interesting. It's fun to watch. It's a good story.
Yep. And then was it the Chiefs or the Commanders I was reading today? They had to sign a guy off someone else's practice squad. That's one thing I couldn't figure out with the Colts. There's how many guys out there, and you had to go to find some guy sitting on the couch for 5 years? That just kind of blows me away. But
yeah, well, I mean, there's guys, XFL guys, that are high caliber that should be out there.
Russell Wilson sitting on the bench in New York doing nothing,
sitting around. But to go after a guy 5 years removed, it's so random and strange. But there's some other story there, and it's interesting to see that as far as his knowledge, IQ of the game, is what they're looking for there.
But so that's what I got. Like I said, we got some college football games, many of bowl games. After a while, it's glorified exhibition. We'll talk about the Gophers because they're the Gophers. FCS going on. Basketball, colleges, like I said, the Bison. We just talked about the girls a little bit there. Conference play is just going to start, so you hear a lot more college talk here for basketball. The non-conference games are, like I said, you play some small schools. They put, like the Bison, for example, they play, or Minnesota Crookston, or they'll play somebody else, or they might be in a tournament where you're playing Duke. I mean, who knows? You're playing such different schools that you're not going to play in the regular season. We're going to wait to get regular season where we get a little more competitiveness because it's your conference. Not that you didn't try against the other teams, but just conference is more fun.
Good stuff. D2 football wrapped up. Ferris State, congrats, won the D2 national title. That's a team to watch. Unbelievable school there. Division III is down to the finals. I think it's down to the finals now, and they got another week. I think, no, 2 weeks. A week and a half or something to go. Their championship is in January as well. D2 is done. FCS is in January. And then, like Andy said, we got the regular college bowl games going on now. We're in the thick of it. We have the college football playoff official. That's also these next games now. And the remaining games are still bowl games as well. So the winner, the teams that get to the finals, are going to be playing in 3 bowl games in one postseason, is what's hard for some folks to understand. It's very confusing.
Maybe 4 if you want to,
Yeah, the first round is not, and that includes the teams with the byes are just playing at home, but the next rounds are all bowl games, technically. So keep that separate. The college football playoff versus the regular bowl games, but they are bowl games. That will be fun. Minnesota Vikings play on Christmas Day this year. They take on the Lions. They're out of it. Should be a fun game to watch. We've got a trivia answer, Andy.
Okay, yes. I think I got this one.
So the trivia question is Montana State has a football program, college. They are in the FCS now. They're going to the title game. Has that school ever won a national football title in their history?
I know how you're I know how you're tricky on this one.
The answer, yes or no. Okay.
Well, I thought you're tricky on this one. And when they said about the Montana State rivalry, has been 125 years. So it means they've been around at least 125 years. And I'm like, you know what? Dan's a lonely man and has time to look stuff up like this.
Yes.
He found some teams that are around 125 years and never won one. So I'm going to say no, they've never won a national championship.
Here's the answer. They haven't won an FCS championship, but they have won as a team in the history of their football program. They've won 3 national titles, Andy. 3.
Okay.
Now, albeit the first one is 1956, back when they were in the NAIA division.
Okay.
Still a national title.
Yep.
1976, they were in Division II. They won the title in 76. And in 1984, they won again, this time in D1 in the 1-AA division.
Okay, yeah.
So they have 3 titles in various things back in the 50s, 70s, and 80s. Nothing since. They've never won an FCS title, but they've been to the title game twice in the last 4 years and lost them both. Now, Illinois, it's been a while since they've been in anything relating to a football title game. Good program, but they don't have, the history like what we've seen with the South Dakota State, Montana, NDSU. It's all these teams that are in there now. So now Montana State will be the heavy favorite, but that'll be a great game to watch. So they do have 3 titles. I did not know that, Andy.
You get that other bracket.
3 titles.
Good luck.
If you're playing any fantasy football, I think the semifinals are going on right now. This week will be ending here tonight. And then next week, coming up with Christmas, is your fantasy football championships. Good luck if you're still in that. And then we'll be wrapping up into the new year, watching a lot of NFL playoffs as they come up and college football playoffs. But yes, we will be getting into the wrestling, the basketball, the college hockey. Lots coming up. If you have any suggestions, please leave comments down below. But we'll see you next week.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
See ya.